Put the mics away from my face. Actually, I need to bring this back. Oh, I did stop the music earlier. Hey, good afternoon.
We got to get back in the hang of things because
that's okay. No, that's all right.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, listen, we're old and things happen. Everything's not going to be perfect. We run our own show. We don't have a production team.
No, we don't.
Nor do we pay anybody else to do this, any background stuff on this show. It is all us, all Custers all the time. Welcome to another episode of Custer Chronicles. I am your host, Dwayne Custer, with my also host,
Kelly K.
Kelly K is here in the building with us. And we are back for another episode 31. We are at 30.
For real? 31?
Episode 31, and it's called Press Play.
And it's been how many? 3 years, so 10
3
per
years.
year.
Yep.
We're getting monthly. Yep. We're almost to that average.
Listen,
we'll get there.
We've done more already this year than we've done all of 2023. So
listen, this year has been epic. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's been epic, and we're going to have lots of surprises coming soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pregnant. Thank you. I'm pregnant. So
you guys will not believe the testimony and transformation. It's a long story. We'll get to it next episode.
Great things happening. Yeah. So we'll wait to release and reveal all that information next week. But we're doing something totally different today. Today is going to be a fun episode. We're going to do something that I've never done before. He thinks it's fun. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I'm a little worried.
It's going to be a great. I think it's a great idea. But in the spirit of competition,
Kelly time out. So just so you know, he said he thinks it's going to be fun. So when something happens to him, you heard it here. Okay, go ahead.
So in the spirit of competition, and Kelly and I are always in competition with each other off screen, so you guys would never know
He's in competition with me. I am not in competition with him. Oh, that sounded really bad.
You said what you said. It's all good. No problem.
I'm not in competition with anybody in life, though. I don't want to be. I'm more in competition with myself than anything else.
And thank you for joining our TED Talk, ladies and gentlemen. There's T-shirts at the lobby. Feel free to step out there and get a Kelly K
I need T-shirts
that says I'm in competition with myself and I am losing. Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, had to pop that bubble. Anyway, all right. So we're doing something fun. So we've seen it online.
That was kind of mean.
I'm doing this for the first time. I've never done this before, but I thought it'd be fun. The fruit by the foot challenge thing, where you're basically seeing who can.
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure about this
fruit by the foot faster.
So I don't know. Why are we talking over each other today?
Go for it. Oh, go ahead.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but basically you undo the fruit roll up.
Yep.
And you have it stringing down, and you're supposed to something like that.
Hanging down.
And you're supposed to see who can. I can't say that. I don't know how to talk.
Who can basically lap it up the fastest? Which still sounds really weird.
Right. I didn't know really how to put that into words. Anywho, we're going to see who can do it the fastest.
It works.
And not choke, because we're old.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to choke.
A little bit uncoordinated. What was it was the regular fruit roll-up that had the tattoos.
Yeah,
it was tattoos on
I
these.
think it was fruit roll-ups, not fruit by the foot.
On the actual paper, it had tattoos. I don't know how old people are and if they still do that.
We are old.
I think they did it my kids' age. I don't think it was when we were young, because we didn't have fruit by the foot, did we?
You mean fruit roll-ups?
Yeah,
fruit roll-ups. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah. They came more so. So we're a couple years age difference between us. So I want to say maybe when I was in the 7th grade. So you might have been like 4th, 5th. They had them out. That's when they were out. So, all right.
So what about the kid who always didn't know they had to unroll it and would try to eat it? There's always one in the group.
Well, some people like to just break them off. Some people like to break them off. They don't want to eat the whole thing all at once.
No, I'm talking about the actual fruit roll-up. The one kid that never unwrapped it and tried to eat it. There was always one.
Anywho, watch my magic trick. All right.
Okay.
So on count of 3, we're going to start. 1, 3. Oh, crap. Excuse the slurping sounds. Put your hands down.
Oh, that's
I was already done.
that was harder than I thought.
This is very hard.
I was dropping pieces out of my mouth.
She beat me, ladies and gentlemen. I still had this much
Of course I did. All women always win.
On the next episode of Can I Do This Better Than My Wife, we're going to attempt to do something else.
I don't want all this in my mouth. Holy cow.
Extra lot of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Drink water.
Mm-hmm.
Do not do this on camera. You're on camera.
I'm so sorry.
What are you doing?
I couldn't.
Hey, put it in the bucket.
No, I already touched it and put it over there. I'm not going to touch it again.
That was gross. We're going to have to edit that.
You don't have to edit it out. It's real. We're real.
Getting edited out.
Listen, they're still stuck to my teeth. How do people eat these and don't get who buys these for their kids?
Smart people. Fruit by foot are pretty good. They taste really good. They're not nasty. Doesn't taste like medicine or anything.
They're not nasty, but you might as well be giving your kid candy. People put that in a lunchbox like it's the fruit.
But the kids don't normally eat the whole thing in one shot. You
Yes,
don't
they
have
do. What are you talking about?
No. You're supposed to break it off and eat it. Break it off and eat it.
You've never
It's
been
like-
in a school lunchroom.
All right.
You have never been in a school lunchroom.
Just because you do it wrong don't necessarily mean that's how you're supposed to do it. You remember back in the day we had bubble tape?
Yeah.
You don't open up the whole roll
Well,
and eat
that's
the whole
bubble
thing.
gum. Because that's bubble gum.
Difference?
So, yeah. Bubble
What's
gum,
difference?
it stays in your mouth. You're not swallowing it.
Did you swallow gum as a kid?
I was afraid.
You never swallowed gum as a kid?
I was afraid. You got to remember, I had older siblings. So, I'm struggling. These new mics. So, my older siblings, they used to tease us about everything.
Mhm.
So, when they teased us about everything, those were the type of things they would say. They said a lot meaner things, too.
So I'm going to be chewing for the next 30 minutes. So
I told you. That's why I put mine away. And then it stuck to your teeth. And that's why I said, all these parents, you don't know how many lunch boxes I see that have these in them. And now I'm thinking, good grief, the kid only gets 20 minutes to eat lunch. If that, it's...
Was it the first 26 minutes of them chewing that fruit by the foot?
Right. No wonder they're not eating their sandwiches and trying to eat that. Listen, these kids... Funny story, maybe, for me. So anyways, we come back. Teachers leave for lunch, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody comes in and they feed the kids lunch, blah, 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 blah. And by the time we get back, they're just starting to clean up. All right, cool. Well, when snack time comes at the end of the day, these kids are trying to eat a whole meal. I'm like, what the heck did you do during lunchtime? It is not lunchtime. Pull out one thing, dude. Like, they are opening it and they got one little boy, every day he brings these tortilla shell sandwiches, like the mom puts like the turkey and the mayonnaise and stuff, and then she rolls it up and cuts them. So he has that in a container and he has fruit in a container, and it's all these different containers. And every single day I tell this boy at snack time, only take out one of the other containers. Don't take everything out. And every single day, he has all 4 containers open. Like he's going to have a whole meal at snack time, which is 15 minutes before dismissal.
He might be able to eat fast.
No. He can't be quiet to eat fast. He's worse than I am.
He talks while he eats.
Oh, my gosh. This one talks all the time. And what I tell parents is I might tell their parent, yeah, they're talking during lessons and things like that. But what I'm thinking in my head is, oh man, this was me as a kid. I am so getting this back.
Yeah, that's what karma. Yeah,
I am just getting this back. And what would I want somebody to say to me as a teacher? I don't always say what I'd want to say to me. I'm being honest, I don't. Sometimes it's like, would you stop? I'm really trying to teach a lesson.
You know what I want to ask you as a teacher? Do they still do nap time for kids?
Nope. They actually stopped in preschool. So in preschool, like VPK or whatever, which is 3 and 4 year olds, When they get to the 4-year-old programs, by December, when they come back in January, there are no more naps because they are preparing them for kindergarten. We used to take naps in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I still have my kindergarten report card in the drawer in there. It literally says, worked well with others.
Napped like a champ.
Writes ABCs. Can say ABCs. Learning sounds. Like different stuff like that. We are nowhere near that. Like these kids have to be able to read before they leave kindergarten.
So no more naps.
What a difference in life. And kids are dumber. That's not how I want to say that.
They're not advanced.
They're not dumber, but they're missing skills. For example, when you go to a fast food restaurant and you give a kid, your change is supposed to be 97 cents. And you're like, no, I don't want the change. Here's 3 pennies. That way you can give me back $1.
You don't tell them that you're getting back $1 because that would answer their question for them.
No, even when you tell them, I'm going to give you this, so that way I don't have to get change because I've held them up. They look at you like deer in headlights. I'm not giving you $1. That doesn't add. It's like a freaking argument.
I'll share a very, very quick story. So math has always been my low point, my absolute weak point. Wasn't good at math. I'm not sure if I had a way of learning that my teacher wasn't actually, sticking to. But I sucked at math. Great at reading, good at everything else, drawing, all that. So I was great at everything else, sucked at math. And that sort of carried into my early adult life. And I remember getting a job working as a cashier at Walgreens. And the Walgreens that I worked in was like right smack dab in the hood. So it was constantly busy. I mean, lotto, people were buying alcohol in the middle of the day. People were buying all kinds of random things that I won't get into. Middle of the day, so we had a rush.
So if he's selling alcohol, you guys, he's either over 18 or over 21 when he's having this moment. Just so you can kind of give the age.
No,
he was not quite there. Anyway,
no,
go ahead.
Actually, I was 17. I was working at 17.
So somebody was lying on some paperwork. Anyways, go ahead.
No, not at all. I could sell it. I had to check.
Even back then, you couldn't sell alcohol unless you were over the age of 18. Even when we were younger. I know that for a fact.
Again, worked in the hood. They weren't checking all that.
That's what I'm saying. You were in a different
anyway. Moving along. It wasn't my point. So there were days where I relied on that cash register for everything. Cash register went down, or my calculator wasn't handy, I would panic. So if somebody says, "Oh, well, the register's down, you got to do everything by hand," I'm going into a panic. I'm taking an extended lunch break. And I remember one day we got into a busy day, long line going into the back. And the guy paid, I don't remember what it was. Let's say it was $20, or let's say it was $19 or $19.50, and he gives me a 20. Then I'm getting ready to process it, go through the process, and then he hands me 50 cents. I'm going, you just gave me $20.50. It's only 50 cents. It's only $19.50. You gave me $20.50. Why'd you give me more? I don't understand. In my brain, it couldn't. I'm sitting there I'm pretending like I'm doing something, but in my brain, I'm going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I was that dude that you hate standing behind at the register trying to figure out, I just gave you three pennies. All you got to do is give me $1 back. I couldn't figure it out.
No, some situations can get you that way, but parents don't like the new math, right? Because let's say I'm doing 5 plus 3. You just want me to add the 5 plus 3. Just add them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? That's normal. We teach kids, start with your biggest number, which is 5, and count up. 6, 7, 8. It's quicker. So let's say you're doing money. You're at 97 cents. You know it has to be to 100 to be $1. Somebody gives you 3 pennies. Count up. What are you at? You're at $1. So now you have his 97 cents and the 3 pennies.
Well,
that counting up method transfers over if parents will let some of this stuff transfer over. Some of it is good.
Well, what about the situation where it's $19.50 and somebody gives you 20? You think, oh, that's more than enough to cover it, and then they give you 50 cents. on top of it. Now
well, then you separate them. So you have the $19.50. You take that 50 cents and put it over here. Like, okay, I got my $20 here. How much was it?
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, I got to give you 50 cents. You're just giving them the 50 cents back.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably did it just to screw with you.
Probably.
Because you were giving them the 50 cents back.
But I literally sweated.
Now I'm going to have to calculate that because I might be wrong. Yeah. You're either giving them 50 cents back or they gave you the 50 cents. That way you were giving them $1
back.
But I think the way that you said it was wrong.
No, I said it the way I said it was $19.50. They gave me $20 and then 50 cents on top of that because they wanted to get $1 back instead of getting 50 cents back.
I'm trying to visualize it.
Yeah, because that's hard.
I do things.
So imagine being a 17-year-old kid as a cashier standing there trying to visualize it while there's a line of people who are
honestly, with quick transitions like that, when you can't work it out on paper.
Oh yeah,
that's what a calculator's for. And that's what I tell my kids, because some kids will be like, well, I'll have a calculator for the rest of your life. You're not always going to have it there. So if you need it without a calculator, you need to know that. But yes, 90% of the time you're going to have that calculator and you're not going to need it, and that's great.
At the time, my calculator was not handy. Somebody else was using it, and I remember the dude going, "What are you doing? I just gave you $20.50. What are you doing?" Like, he was pressing me to like hurry up. He wanted to leave. There's a long line. I literally started sweating.
He wanted the $1 back.
Drenched in sweat.
He wanted to get rid of the
because he didn't want the change.
Yeah, he didn't want change. Absolutely. I said that backwards. So I was thinking the other way.
So I panicked. So what I'm saying is that I was one of those people who couldn't count the additional change, not necessarily the 97 to 3 pennies to $1. But like, I gave you more than what your bill was. You gave me the $20 that was more than the $19.50. Now you give me 50 cents more, and I'm going, why would you do that?
Because I don't want change.
Right. Yeah. I did not realize it. For him, it was probably easy. Just understand, for people who are dealing with people that are out there is a subject out there that you are really, really good at that somebody is.
And I totally said that backwards a few minutes ago. I don't know why I was thinking that backwards. Oh, well, you'll just be giving the 50 cents back when that's not.
Well, no, $1. I know.
Yeah, it's $1. I'm
be gentle with people. Be gentle with people. Not everybody understands everything. Just there's certain things that you're weak at that somebody's strong at, and if they treated you like crap because you didn't understand how to fix a car,
which the way that they know
how to fix a car, you'd be like, I don't know. Like how to
when
fix
you don't when you don't say words correctly or you don't spell them correctly, some people aren't very nice about it.
I'm nice about it.
I'm very good with math. Math is my thing. I can sit here with numbers all day long and figure things out of what's going to happen next month, and I can do that all day long. That's just my thing. But for me, I'm more visual when it comes to math. So if you're doing multiplication, I'm trying to teach a kid that. I teach it as like, you're going to a party. You have 5 tables. How many people do you want to sit at each table? Okay, so how many would you have? How many people can you have? There's your multiplication. So I have to put it into pictures and scenarios instead of just numbers. And once kids translate that, a lot of times it just clicks.
You're right. And there's 3 types of people. There are people that have a really hard time getting it. There are people who can get it and who can teach it, like Kelly just did, who I understand it and I know how to translate it to make it palatable for you. And then there's people like my mom, God rest her soul. My mom was super smart. She would get it, make it make sense in her own head. But as soon as somebody said, now show this person how to do this, she'd be like,
how do
I explain it?
You just literally explained stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 when they were doing the report cards that way.
Okay.
That's the way it was supposed to be done. 4s, I can teach it to someone. And parents looked at that as A's. So we had to make that an A because parents couldn't get over the fact that all their kids couldn't explain it to someone. So A was supposed to be, I can explain it to someone. 3 was supposed to be, I get it. I know how to do this. Even if I do it in my own way, I can get it. 2 was, I get them sometimes, but here and there, but I'm going to get some wrong.
Yeah.
And 1 is, I am lost.
Yeah.
and you cannot find me.
Yeah.
So you explained that very well, because that's why we went back to A, B, C, D, E, F with all the, and now they want to do 50%. You can't go under 50%. And I know this is probably boring to people. I'm going to shut up. But the reason why they went back to that is because parents weren't understanding. And I think that extra level confused people. I really think it did. I feel like they should have said a 4 is this, but a 5 is this, like an A++ or something. But parents are so, my kid is so smart. They never lie. Oh, I could tell you so many stories about the never lie. They never lie. They would never do that at home.
Well, it's I think, parents, not to dwell on this, but parents will definitely, it's weird because it's almost like we are living the life of our parents or guardians that we had as kids. Our parents or guardians would look at us so much differently if they sat in class with us on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So your kid that you think is perfection, who's like shining gold and oysters and not oysters, pearls. When you see them in the classroom and you see how they space out.
No, here's the issue. We would invite parents in more. Like, that sounds great. Come watch your kid and how they act in class. But that's not what happens. When they come, other kids are distracting my child.
Oh, yeah.
You're taking too long to teach. And because you're taking too long, my child is too smart. So now they are bored. That's why they're scrawling on the wall. And that's why they're flipping over in the corner over here, because they're bored. So wait a minute. Your kid is bored, but it's okay for them to get out of their seat and do cartwheels in a corner while teacher's teaching a lesson. How about respect? Even if your kid's bored, even if you think they are so intelligent, where is the respect for adults? Where is the respect for property and respect for where you're at? I've started telling kids, where you go in different places, you act different. You act one way at home, one way in a store, one way at a friend's house, one way at church, and different things, right? Different ways in different places. When you come inside my classroom, I expect, like when you're in front of your parent, like right there, things that you wouldn't say in front of your parents. When you're at church, you're not going to run through there and scream and shout, because most of them told me they do go to church. That's why I brought that one up. But giving them those scenarios that are visual sometimes helps, that they can connect the dots. But these parents coming in the classroom, they twist it around on the adult. They don't make their kid take accountability. And that's my problem.
Using those examples that you made, this is, you wouldn't do these things in church. It's like, yeah, they're in a room full of other kids just like them. Whereas if they were in church, they're in a room full of adults. They're not going to act up in front of adults because someone's going to discipline them. You put them in a room full of kids. It's like putting a kid in an amusement park and going out at calm.
But there is an adult there, even if you're... I know, but it's a matter of, I have a kid right now that will literally look me in the face and be like, and? Oh, you must not know what. You gonna find out who I am.
They don't feel anything.
I am a very, very nice person, but I can be very, very firm and still get you to do what I need you to do. And I can do it in a nice way. I can trick you into doing it. Or I can give you that look that is, try me. I dare you. I want you to try me. Now what happens after that, I don't really know. Because most of the time they don't try me. Most of the time when I get to that point, we've done everything, so they really don't go past that. And the ones that have, normally it's a restraint type thing, or I have to remove them from that situation just because they're overstimulated and they just don't get it. Look at me sounding all professional. They're overstimulated.
Sounding like a dog on a vice principal. Goodness gracious, that's crazy.
So I don't know. I love what I do, guys. I love what I do. I will shut up because it's probably boring everybody, but I could tell you stories about parents and kids and situations and anything.
So if
I've
you're interested
experienced
in
it
hearing
all.
these stories, feel free to message Kelly on social media. It's all social
I
media.
will do my own little TikToks or my own little shows about it.
You might want to. At this
I
point in time, you
can.
might as well. You start doing some TikToks, teacher TikToks. They get a good traction. You know
Yeah,
they
I
get
could
good
do teacher
traction on it.
TikToks
Bam.
about different scenarios and things that parents do or say that are just, but in a nice way. Like, think about at the end of the day, even if the teacher is boring and everybody's bored out of their mind, the kid still has to be respectful. You can't turn around and say, well, the reason why my kid's acting up in class is because the work that you're giving them is boring. How are you going to make them just sit there? They're a kid. So if you're in a place, you have a job, you're an adult.
You just said you were going to stop talking.
Sorry, you're an adult, you're in a place, and you get bored at work, you're allowed to be disrespectful. That's what we're teaching them, because that's what's happening. You get to be older and you think that behavior's okay. Oh, I don't like what people are saying. I'm bored. I want to do this. So I can talk loudly while the speaker's talking
Well,
because I don't
you
have
do know
respect.
this iPad generation is going to become adult soon, and their attention span is about as short as a TikTok video. So these people are going to have to work in the real world. So your taxes, your insurance, your fast food is all going to be handled by the iPad generation, whose attention span is that of 5 seconds. So if your fries are cold when you get them, blame the iPads.
Right.
So,
it's not blame the iPad, it's blame the parent for no accountability for their child. And you're teaching them that mess is okay. Because it's going to go up into adulthood. For example, I'm going to give one more example and then I'm going to shut up, I promise.
Okay.
A kid destroys a classroom. Oh my gosh, Johnny, he's having a bad morning. He just, he didn't get enough rest. We had a bad morning and I was fighting with dad. I get it. There's some arguing going on in the house. I get it. This kid's under a lot of stress. He has destroyed a classroom. Let's fast forward. You're an adult. I don't have enough money. I don't know what groceries I'm going to be able to buy. You're in the middle of the store. And you get frustrated because you ain't going to have enough money to buy stuff.
Okay.
Let's destroy the store.
No.
You're going to jail. And if you watch enough TikToks or different stuff, people do that crap out of frustration because they were taught the behavior was okay. We are teaching the disrespect behavior is okay. Kids have issues, yes, but are we making them deal with the issue correctly? Are we letting them flip out everywhere?
Parents don't want to be looked at as the problem, so they're going to blame every outside extenuating circumstances being the issue, not themselves. They think that they're knockout, drag out, awesome parents, and circumstances that change the way that so you'll tell them, hey, listen, your kid is this way, and they'll say it's not because of me.
Or they'll blame it on the situation. I'm going to be very honest, people. My kids have dealt with divorce, domestic violence, suicide. They've dealt with a drowning of a child. They've dealt with family drama. They have dealt with mental health issues in our family, addiction in our family. My children were not allowed to use those things as an excuse. Period. They were told, your situation is what you make it. They were straight A students. I didn't check agendas. I didn't chase after them. I didn't do homework. I didn't do any of that. They were responsible for their work. Period. If they didn't get it done or their grades were bad, they were punished for those 9 weeks. They lost whatever activity or whatever they wanted to do. I never had to do that to them. Ever. One got one bad grade and it was a C, mind you. It was a C, and it was because he messed up on one test and within 2 weeks he had it changed. because he had to get another grade in.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked hard for that to get it back where it needs to be. Now, as adults, they strive for what they want. They have not come back to our house and asked us for a dime. They haven't come back and asked us for food. They haven't come back and tried to do their laundry. Nothing. They are fine. Mm-hmm. And that was the discipline that they had. And the knowledge that, yes, bad things happen. Talk to someone. Figure it out. It's life. At the end of the day, it's life. And life happens. It's all in how you deal with it. Gotta dance in the rain.
Dance in the rain, I like that.
It's all in how you dance in the rain. Because the storm's coming. But are you going to dance in the rain or are you going to sit in a puddle?
Very well put. You should put that on a t-shirt. Definitely put that on a t-shirt.
I should.
You're going to dance in the rain?
I came up with that just now. I'm pretty smart sometimes. Wink, wink. That's my wink.
She got dry eye, folks. All right.
Can you wink?
I have one. Yes,
Sorry.
I can.
Go ahead.
I have one more.
Must be a guy thing.
What, winking?
Yeah. Because girls don't wink at guys.
That's y'all choice.
We go.
Don't do that.
Was that not cute?
It's like you're having a seizure.
How would you give a girl a look from across the room?
In 2024 or in 1968?
Let's do both. Okay, back in the day when we were in high school, which is in the 90s. Let's say the 90s.
The 1900s.
I could tell you what a guy would do to get my attention. Let's see if you do it. Go ahead.
What a guy would do to get your attention.
Get my attention. I'm walking through the mall. You're going to pass by.
A drop of 20 on the floor.
That's really what you would do.
That would get your attention, wouldn't it?
I would just look at you and say you dropped some money and keep going.
But that was for you. And reel it in. Got a big fish on this one. All it took was a 20.
And then you get mad because I'd be a gold digger. Anyways, give me another one.
Oh, goodness. Another way that I would try to get your attention. In the 90s? You're talking about...
We're talking about the 90s, and then we'll go to this.
Teenage us is so different. I don't have the knowledge then that I have now. But...
I can tell you
honestly,
the number one way.
All right, so the way that I would do it never worked for me. I'd send you a letter with poetry.
In the middle of the mall, you would write a letter.
I thought you meant in school.
No, I'm talking about the mall. You see me. I'm a random person. You see me and you want to talk to me.
Ooh.
Maybe get my number or whatever. Which people don't do as much.
I'm following you. Hopefully to the food court. Where I can sit someone across from you and try to look at you and smile and look away and then look at you and smile and see if you smile back. And then if you kind of gave me a smile of, oh, he's cute, I'd walk by and I'd compliment something that you had on. I like your sneakers. Thank
you. And I'd keep walking.
Yeah, I'm out.
You have to give me more than that. Like you didn't. See, I don't know. Like, okay,
you're again. This is not. I didn't have. Okay, 17-year-old me is not 47-year-old me. I do not have the skill set. Then I wouldn't know what to say.
You know what? I got hit on a lot. If that's what guys did. Did it work? No, because I thought they were just complimenting.
Listen. Okay, so here's what a lot of nice guys don't want to do. They don't want to walk up to you and be like, "Hey, can I get your phone number?"
Well, okay. I would.
Hey, you're cute. Can I get your phone number? I know you're here with your friends or whatever, but forget that. Can I spend time with you? You want to come walk with me to
those are the type of things I would get. Or I would get this. This was number one, and I would refuse to respond to it. And my girlfriends would.
Hey, pink shirt. Hey, pink shirt. Hey, what's your name? Kelly.
I wouldn't answer to it.
Oh, you wouldn't answer?
I'm not a dog.
Hey, pink shirt.
I'm not a dog.
Hey.
You want to talk to me? Get your butt up and come walk and talk to me. Like, I'm not a doll.
So has it ever worked? Has anybody ever walked up to you in a mall and was bold enough to just come up there and talk to you, and you were like, "Thank you, I like this. I like you. What's your name? My name's Kelly. What's your name? Kevin. Nice to meet you, Kevin. Here's my phone." Really? That worked? You've done that before?
Yeah. Normally it starts like this.
And those people are in jail now.
Normally you'd be looking at something in the mall or whatever, and the other person just happens to be looking at something around, and you spark up a conversation like, "Oh man, this perfume smells so good. Which one do you like the best?" Something simple about what y'all are looking at.
That is so random and specific. That is so off the beaten path. The chances of you finding that cute girl and then that cute guy, and you guys happen to be in the same store looking at the same thing.
No, it's not that you're looking at the same thing. You followed her. You saw her. Okay. You made a loop. Mm-hmm. You saw what store she went into. And if it wasn't like Victoria's Secret,
that's what I'm saying. It's like the stores were very, very. This is a men's store. This is a woman's store. None of you teenagers were shopping at JCPenney.
Everybody went to Spencer's or the arcade or the food court, things like that.
Again,
there's all kinds of kiosks in the middle, or you get kiosks. What are they? What?
Say it again.
No, because see, this is what I'm talking about. You don't want to get picked on about math.
Say it again. Because maybe you're saying it right, and I'm thinking of it wrong.
Kiosk.
Spell it. Are you able to spell it?
No, okay. I'm not.
So it's spelled Kiosks.
Kiosks?
No, it's kiosks. Kiosks.
Who cares?
Me. Anyway, moving along.
So anyways, you're going past those. Let's see she don't go on get close enough to compliment her shoes or something like that, or spark up a conversation. But you have to, oh man, you're a Dolphins fan. Say something about what's on.
Again, that's for something year-old you who has adult knowledge who didn't have this.
I guess we're doing the. Let's go back to when we were 17.
Yeah. 17 years old me didn't have that kind of confidence.
I got a lot of written notes with the phone number, and just as you walk by, you just kind of like hand them something, and you keep walking.
And do you know why they did that? Because at 17 years old, you have very limited experience of being embarrassed. You don't want to be embarrassed. You probably haven't been embarrassed very often. The last thing you want to do is have your friends or her friends see you do something and them go, ew. Or your friends go, oh.
You know what's the worst is when a guy would do that and a girl would deliberately wait like 3 days. Because they called that the 3-day thing. And
that's a real thing. I've heard that in movies.
I would hate when my friends would do stuff like that. I'm like, why? You're starting off playing games, but then you don't want to play games when it gets down to it.
True. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So why are you setting the tone of playing games?
Well, the way that they presented it, they didn't want to seem too eager, too hungry, too thirsty, too, oh, I'm going to call him tonight.
He was thirsty enough to do that and hand it to you in the store.
But did he make much effort, though? He wrote his number on a piece of paper. And
he was nervous.
Yeah, again, at 17 years old, I don't know how much of that was going through my mind where I'm giving the person the benefit of the doubt. You're just thinking, oh, but the 3-day thing was kind of like, well, if you're not interested, then just throw it in the garbage to begin with. Because by the time you call him, he's probably going to forget. If you wait 3 days, he might forget who you are.
Normally, a lot of times you would exchange numbers too. And if the other person didn't like you, they would just mess up one of the numbers. The only bad part about that is I live in a small town. So you probably see them at the mall the following weekend, and they would probably be like, "Hey, I think you gave me the wrong number," and you're like, "Oh, did I?"
I didn't even do that.
Let me see what number I gave you. But we didn't have phones that you could see.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I'm like, remember the time when we were kids, we had home phones that were either mounted on the wall or in a communal area.
Here's the crazy part. When you look at the guy and you're like, "Did I give you the wrong? What number did I give you?" And he had memorized it. To tell you, that's the one you're like, no, it's a 3, knowing good and well it's an 8. But like, catch a hint, dude. But
Oh, it's even worse if
so
y'all go to
different.
school together. And you're like, I see you at school.
Oh gosh, we all went to school together too.
Yeah, I see you.
It was
at
either
school.
Kathleen or Lake Gibson. There was only 2 schools.
Underclassmen. I've seen you in the lunchroom. I saw you in that recess. Not recess.
I ended up being around I always was around the older people, the older kids. And when we ended up, our class, junior high class, was the first class of 9th grade to move to the high school.
Mm-hmm.
So when we moved to the high school, my sister was a cheerleader. We didn't get along very well, but that, I guess because they had talked to her and knew I was connected to her, all of a sudden they really wanted to talk to me, but I was dating somebody older.
Mm-hmm.
So I became the friend.
Mm.
So I was always friends with all the guys. So anyways, the high school seniors, juniors and seniors, that would have been Ray Lewis and some other people. They've had put portables out in the field for all of us. You didn't know what a portable is till I showed you.
Yeah, not a porta potty, folks.
It's a portable. Basically what it is like a little house on wheels that they put out in the field for
portable
classrooms.
You could just say
yeah, for classrooms. Yeah. So they made like a big field of them for 9th grade because they didn't have anywhere to house us. They had to build that because I don't know why schools say they're going to do something like that and plan for it, but don't plan where the kids are going to go. Since, you know what? That seems to be a trend. Maybe portable should just be the answer.
That might work.
So, anywho, they would chase us after, seniors would chase us after lunch because we all had lunch and seniors would be in there and stuff like that. I was friends with everybody, but some of the football players thought it'd be very funny to tease me and say they were going to put me on the portable like Jesus. They were going to tape me on the portable like Jesus after lunch.
That's excessive.
Well, you have to remember back then there was a lot of pranks, or they would have they did the pep rallies and toilet paper. Our house got toilet papered a couple of times.
That's a lot of wasted toilet paper. I'm just.
Well, here's the thing. Think about the mist in the air in the early morning, and the toilet paper's in the tree, and you know they bought it at a dollar store, so it's cheap, and it's just disintegrating in your tree, and you can't get it out. My stepdad used to be pissed.
Of course.
And as a kid, I was just like, it's toilet paper. Chill out. Oh my gosh. But now as an adult, I'm like, you little... That is not funny. Don't you ever.
That's funny. All right, hold on. We got to transition. I got something I want to give you, right?
Wait, give me.
Not give you, but something I want to do, right? So, you know that we are the snack kings, right?
What?
We do taste testings. And I was doing my grocery shopping.
What is up with all the food today?
I was doing grocery shopping and I found pumpkin spice Oreos.
Get it away from the mic. I can't hear what you're saying.
Pumpkin spice Oreos.
Wait a minute.
And I know how you feel. I know how you feel about pumpkin spice. Hold on,
put the bag down. All I hear is the bag.
Pumpkin spice Oreos. I'm gonna let you taste one. Tell me what you think.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
So if you've watched any of our previous episodes, you know how she feels about the autumn time or fall time. And
it's one of my favorite. They bring on anything season.
Pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is okay, but she loves pumpkin spice everything. So found these, figured I'd put it. Since we do Oreo taste testings here, we want to check out this flavor and see what you thought about it. Pumpkin spice flavored Oreos. Yes? Is that a yes? Mm-hmm. It snuck up on you?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
I had one earlier. I had a few earlier. They're actually really good. Very surprisingly very good.
Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Didn't he say he bought it for me?
No.
I didn't say that.
I said them. This experiment.
Yes, okay, when you watched this back, you said I got something for you.
And you said you got something for me? I said no, not something for you, something for us to do. That is recorded. Yeah, something for us to do. It's a taste test. What's your taste test?
I don't want to crunch on.
So move your mic away from your mouth.
I don't have.
Just eat the whole thing. It's a cookie.
I can't.
Anyway, They are phenomenal. I'll give credit where credit is due. Pumpkin. I'm not a huge pumpkin spice season person where I got to get all the pumpkin spice muffins and the pumpkin spice lattes and the pumpkin spice candles and air fresheners. And I'm not that person. But
what? Yes, you are. Every time
pumpkin
I bring them
spice, no,
you don't understand. Every candle that I buy in the fall, you're like, oh my gosh, that smells so good. That's what it is.
Smells good is one thing. Going out and making it a point to it's that season. I got to buy more of these is not me. Christmas time, yes. I love.
We've been on a break of spending money, and I haven't bought any, and I'm having withdrawals because I really want some, and I can't get any because we're on a budget.
Oh goodness.
No, I don't like budget.
Well, anyway, you got our word of recommendation. Go ahead and get those Oreos. I got them from Walmart, so it's not like they're hidden.
Oh my gosh,
those are really.
You know, it's my favorite pumpkin item.
Pie.
No, it is, but. I mean, something that you could have more often.
Eating or
because really you only have the pie at the holiday. You don't buy pie all month long.
I mean,
I guess you could.
Some very large people that might.
I guess you could, but big back. But normal people don't buy it all month long. They just buy it for the holiday with some whipped cream topping. Okay, so. What do you think is my favorite? You should know
this.
It's
a food?
Yes, you should know. You mean a food? That's what we're talking about. What is my favorite?
Muffins. Pumpkin spice muffins.
From?
Wawa. No, not Wawa. Publix. Jesus. Something your grandmother used to make.
I am so sad right now, people.
Pumpkin spice muffins.
I don't like them from anywhere else but this place. This explains why I get them from other places from him.
Krispy Kreme.
Because he has no idea where I like these from. So this explains why I'm getting the wrong one.
Walmart.
Ew. What is wrong with you?
I'm just naming random places now. I have no idea.
I'm sure people are screaming this out.
Pumpkin spice muffins. If you say some restaurant that I've never been to, then I'm gonna say I have no idea what you're talking about. Have I been to this place before?
Yes.
Pumpkin spice
and it's within a 2-mile radius.
From this house?
Yep.
The movie theater. No, that's not right.
The movie theater is not even a quarter of a mile.
I said Krispy Kreme. Dunkin' Donuts.
Thank you.
Oh,
listen,
it wasn't because I remembered. I'm literally going down a list of places.
They're donuts. They're little, what do they call, munchkins?
Yeah.
And especially, I know.
That's not Remix.
Especially, they're pumpkin muffins. Oh, if you have not had it.
I've never had it.
You have, because I gave you one every year, and you always eat it, and you always tell me you
lies.
What you say every year.
Anytime a woman leads a sentence with
my gosh,
you always then I don't believe it. I've always.
Gosh, guys, I wish there was instant replay for real, like that commercial, because this man is notorious for saying.
Flag on the play. Let's do it. Right.
Listen, honestly, we did that the other day, and I was so wrong.
Oh, wait. What? What happened? Hold up. Tell the story before you start laughing. I don't remember. She said it's too late. She can't get the words out. With what?
We did an instant replay last week, and I ended up being the one that was wrong, and I'm always the one that wants the instant replay. Do you remember it?
No, I just said no. What was it?
We were sitting on the couch. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what we were talking about. We were talking about something. And I said, well, before I said this. And you were like, no, you didn't. All you said was this part. You must have said it in your head. And I was like, I said it out loud. And I know I said it out loud. So I took one of the cameras and rewound it. I lie to you not.
Yeah,
I was sitting on the couch like this.
Yeah, she thought she had a whole She thought she had a whole conversation with me about something, and she was like, "I told you." I was like, "You never came out your mouth and said it." Yes, I did. I said, "What was my response?" You said, "Okay." I said, "I never said anything like that because that wouldn't have been my response to that particular thing." I'm going to look at the cameras. We got to record. I said, pull up the camera. I said, "Kelly, you had the conversation." I said, "You've admittedly had conversations in your head." Literally with two parties. You say this person responds with this, you respond with this, you say this, going back and forth, and the conversation has never happened. I said, you admitted to having those conversations in your head.
But I actually got to see it, which was so funny.
I was so confident, I was like, go ahead and watch the video. Because we have cameras in the living room. She rewound the video and she was like, Because the video just showed her, right at the point in time where she said we had the conversation, the video just showed her staring at me like this. When the whole scenario was actually playing in her head, she was just staring at me. And she made the face like, I just told you. So she thought she had the conversation with me. I had no idea what she was talking about. That was a great feeling, guys. That is a great, liberating feeling to know that you were actually right. Scary. And then she tried to pull up proof, and it backfired on her.
Here's the scary part. Me just sitting there staring at you. Like, I legit thought there was a glitch in the camera.
She thought there was a pause in the camera. I was like, no, it was a pause in your brain. Your synapses were not firing on all cylinders that time. That's funny.
It was weird to watch, though. Because I remembered the conversation so vividly.
That just shows women have very detailed, vivid conversations in their heads.
And it wasn't a short period. Like, I'm staring at you for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah. And we're gonna every single time that you say you told me something, I'm like, remember that time? You might not have said it. Either that or all of our conversations are going to have to be in a room where cameras are.
Well, I couldn't deny the camera because everything else was moving in the room but me.
She's sitting there staring. I'm moving. The whole thing is going on. I'm in the back cooking dinner. The kids are walking by. And she's just like, I told you. That's hilarious.
Maybe it's conversations I'm afraid to have.
No,
because I say whatever.
Yeah, you say what you want. All right, real quick. I want to transition to something really quick before we get out of here. The 90s were an amazing time for us because I think we both worked in the mall in the 90s, right?
Right.
Okay. So what store, if you can get into a time machine and you can go back to a particular store, what store would you want from the 90s that no longer exists? Would you want to make?
I know one right off the bat.
Doesn't have to be one. What stores do you miss that you wish would come back?
KB Toys.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like
that's KB the first Toys. Thing that came. And why? I didn't research this first because he just caught me off guard with this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, KB Toys.
KB Toys is a good. You know what's funny? Why did KB Toys only have a mall store? They never had a regular brick and mortar.
Oh, they didn't, did they?
They never competed with Toys R Us like that.
And they were. Honestly, once KB Toys came, well, no. I just remember when I started having kids, I remember the line for Christmas, having to stand in that line.
In a mall.
I did Black Friday. But here's the crazy part. Anytime I wanted something for Black Friday, I've always been able to get it if I really wanted something. Like when the Beats came out, or there was Tickle Me Elmo, or the or the little gizmo looking things, but they were not Furbies. Those we always got, whatever it was, the Barbie, holiday Barbies or whatever. We always got those.
Sounds like a rich person's problem. Got it. Okay.
We saved up all year for Christmas.
Spoiled. Huh?
We saved up all year for Christmas.
Hey. That's good.
So if you do $20-$30 out of your paycheck every 2 weeks, that's $60 a month.
Not everybody had that luxury. Some people at the end of their paycheck still owed money. They didn't have the luxury of putting $20-$30 aside.
You're right.
But my point was, hold on, stay on topic. Stay on topic.
KB Toys.
So KB Toys, that is one. I'm gonna go for me. That's definitely up there. There's two stores that pop out in my brain. One is Walden Books. It was a bookstore because they had magazines right in the front, and then I can kind of walk through and we flip through all the magazines that
we used to have those teen magazines with all of our celebrities in it, but that was really, really popular back then. Like we would be like New Kids on the Block in it, or Corey Feldman, or Corey Hames. I remember the people that we used to look up. But they would be on the cover and they'd have little stories or little bios in there.
Little fold out pictures of the person that you can put on your wall. Yeah. So,
but that was also when they had the little colognes that you would pull that out of a magazine and like rub it on yourself.
Yo, how many fellas actually did that? You took the little perfume, a little cologne sample, the thing that's supposed to peel back, and you. Ooh, that was actually the most brilliant marketing tool for men and women ever, because it's one thing to put.
Well, now you can get a bottle. What are you talking about?
I said I'm talking about marketing for print.
Oh yeah.
For a magazine, a publication that gets mailed out to your house, they can literally put, hey, get these cookies, get this sandwich, go to McDonald's and get this sandwich, and it's great. Okay, looks appealing, but to actually say, hey, get this perfume. Well, I don't know what the perfume smells like. Cool, don't worry about it. Peel this little envelope back. Smell. That's what it smells like. That was absolutely brilliant, and that's done.
Do you think they'll ever come up with like Smell-a-Pad? Like,
I'm sorry. What? Like an iPad that you can scratch and smell?
Yeah, because think of that.
I laugh about that now, going, "There's no way in the world." And then they're gonna come out with it like in 2 years. Apple's gonna come out.
We're
gonna
have to star this moment because I'm the first one that's creating this. But
you invented it.
Yeah, but having all technology to where, like, when you are trying to order stuff online and things like that, there's a way to be able to smell that perfume, or some way of doing that. But if you start going that route, eventually you're going to be able to get food that way. But I don't think that will ever happen. But having scents, we do that in the movie theater. But that's through like little vape things and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's first of all, that's a whole other topic. That's those theaters, the 4DX theaters, where you get the full experience, where you're moving.
And I can go to that soon.
Can you?
Well, depending on when I have my next surgery, and then a little while after that, I don't have any.
Because side note, we were going to go to see the movie Twisters at the 4DX movie theaters. And I actually saw like footage of people actually in the theaters. It did move a lot. So it's like picture being in a chair like this, and there's like this panel. I think there's like panels either behind you or in front of you as well. So as you're going through, you're watching the scene of the tornado coming through and it's moving things. Water is actually spritzing on you. Your chairs are actually moving like this, like you're in a roller coaster. You're smelling grass. You're smelling, ocean water. You're getting spritzed with water. You're getting wind blowing on you. All kinds of things. So it's a full experience if you go to these theaters, and it's not as expensive as you would think. I think our tickets might have been
$25-$30. They weren't that expensive.
I think it might have been like $40 each. Plus, I think we were getting snacks and stuff like that. So I think it ended up it wasn't that bad at all once we got the tickets. But they're limited as far as the theaters. I think ours is in Orlando, so it wouldn't have been that big of a transit. So there's probably not a whole lot of places that have them all over the country. But either way, 40X.
Watching a scary movie like that?
And you get spritzed with blood.
No, I'm talking about just like in the chair, like a bump, like they're gonna get you.
That would be creepy. Like being like, let's say for instance, the person's hiding in a closet. And then the monster's behind him, and you feel the breath on your neck.
Like think about, remember that TikTok that you sent me where you put it on and it sounds like the dude is legit.
Oh yeah.
Imagine
8D.
that.
Yeah.
In that theater.
Yeah.
And it's a scary movie.
That would be pretty creepy, and I'm pretty sure there's some.
Did I just invent something else?
No, I'm sure that's probably in the works. That's not that far off because it exists, and we're talking about enhancing that. But you're talking about an iPad.
You have not seen that video. Go to TikTok and watch that video. He'll add something to make sure you can see it.
I'll put something in the video right about here that lets you know where to find it. Yeah.
Legit, it sounds like this guy is right next to you because you go like this to look for him. And I have not seen
8D audio. 8D audio. So like 4K, but it's 8D or 8K. It's 8D. 8D audio, basically where it's like surround sound, total surround sound audio. Usually works best when you're wearing headphones. But it's pretty phenomenal. I use it to fall asleep sometimes. Anywho,
insane.
Yeah, but yeah, something like that, like the Smello pad, you know, where you can actually scratch or smell a whiff of whatever it is that you that might actually be something. But you got to think, well, to create that kind of technology, what would it really be benefit? What kind of items and products would it be beneficial for? Perfume, cologne, absolutely. What else?
Food.
I'm saying. Not necessarily. Now, it might be good. Let's say, for instance, I don't know what to eat, and you flipping through you're scrolling through TikTok, and you smell some chicken nuggets. Yeah, it might
for the
it might entice you to go to a certain restaurant when you're hungry. Yeah, that smells really good. Or I can smell somebody cooking a casserole because I'm watching them do a recipe.
I don't know what else.
That's what I'm saying. For them to create that kind of technology, it would have to be useful for multiple kinds of products. Anyway.
Oh, detergents and stuff like that. Candles.
Yes. Like dryer sheets.
And
like
warmers
stuff like that. Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
It had to be like a product that a lot of people use. Those warmers.
Or like the spray, the fabric sprays, any type of scent stuff that we use every day.
Yes, absolutely. That would be very helpful.
So it would be beneficial.
So
anyways, going back to the magazines and
so
we went on a rabbit trail.
Yeah, so Walden Books or Borders Books and music, because they had music and books and stuff like that in there as well as magazines. That was one thing. So KB Toys, that Brookstone. Brookstone was pretty cool because they had all the cool little like futuristic gizmos that you can play with. They had Brookstone was a store in the mall where you go. They had the massaging chair in there where you sit in and it massages you in the chair.
We had that, I think, in the middle of the mall.
No. There's a store. If I showed you the picture, you'd see it. It had like the bubbling brook where like the water would roll down the rocks and then it'd be like the.
I remember stores like that, but I don't remember.
Brookstone was the most popular. So there's a lot of stores. I worked at a clothing store that I would love to see come back, but
the one that do you remember Z Cavaricci's and. Mm-hmm. There was a store that sold those and the like loud color outfits, like the jean shorts with the leather patches or whatever that were different colors. That's coming back.
What's the name of that store?
I don't know.
Because the store that I used to work at was called Merry-Go-Round.
Yes,
Merry-Go-Round.
That's exactly what it was.
Merry-Go-Round. Merry-Go-Round was a store that I worked at, but Merry-Go-Round's competition was a store called Chess King.
No, it was only Merry-Go-Round.
But Merry-Go-Round, but Chess King was more for guys. Merry-Go-Round was men and women stuff.
I wore all the guys stuff because back then TLC was in and stuff like that, and all the girls wore baggy stuff, which was a nice era for thick girls because we were heavier.
Yeah,
and it was easier to wear the baggy clothes and different stuff than have to wear these thin, tight things because everybody thought you were supposed to be so skinny.
Right.
Because back then, and still now, we think that it's not cute to be heavier.
Like I don't buy that.
Guys don't buy it, but in a woman's world, there's so much. If you watch TV, all the shows, like the reality TV shows or whatever it is, all of them are that way.
I don't buy that. And the reason why I say that is because for the last, 20 years, women have been fighting for equality and standing up as far as trying to be different. They would not conform to, okay, well, we're fighting for you guys not to look at us.
Show me girls on Instagram or...
guys do not run their pages. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is people, the stigma out there is that it's a thin waist, big boobs, big butt, or whatever, and
that's not guy generated.
I know, but it's the stigma in women's mind is that that's the only thing that guys want.
So what about married women? Do they care what guys want? Do they care what their husbands want?
It depends on the woman, because there's an insecurity on some women that you see that all the time, and you're like, my husband tells me I'm what he wants and this and that, but he's seeing all this all the time. maybe I need to add up to that for him.
I don't deny that mindset and that's happening. I do not believe that's on the majority scale where all these women who will walk around trying to be thin, a majority of women who walk around trying to be thin because that's what men like. I think women, we don't care about your eyebrows, your eyelashes, all the contour makeup that's out there.
Actually, you do. Actually, you do, because if a girl has thick eyebrows, you'd be the first one to point that crap out.
Unmanicured faces are one thing. If you have thick eyebrows, I don't care if you're a man, woman, goat, I'm going to laugh at it. It looks silly. If you have a thick eyebrow, again, if you're a man, woman, child, animal, I'm going to go, those are some thick eyebrows. It has nothing to do with now I'm attracted to you because you have perfectly contoured eyebrows. I don't care about that. The fake eyelashes look absolutely
But the
amazing.
whole men are attracted. You'll say, yes, I'm attracted to this thick girl.
How are you speaking
but
of the
then
point of a woman as a man?
Then it's like, okay, but these girls over here are hot. And it's
like you're putting that.
No, I'm not putting that thought out there. What I'm saying is that's what we've been told so much in our lives.
Kelly, you are in your 40s. What you were told in your teens is not the same thing from the 90s as it is today. The same mindset doesn't carry over.
A lot of women still don't know that. That's what I'm saying to you. I know that, but a lot of women still don't know that. The stigma is still there because they are told constantly something different.
That sounds like an excuse. That sounds like something, that might have been the truth back in the late 90s, early 2000s. You have not been enough places to go. That's still the consensus thought of all men. No, that might have been the consensus thought of all men back then.
I just said that I'm not saying that's the consensus.
You're saying that's still the thought process now. That's why Instagram is the way that it is.
What I'm telling you is, regardless of what y'all's thought process is, this is how women feel. And we are entitled to have our feelings because of what has been.
You're missing the point.
You're missing my point. Listen for a second. It's what's been embedded in us as women.
At what age?
Growing up in general. It depends. And honestly, it depends on what household you grow up in and how you're treated and things like that. I was told constantly that I was fat and that it was not, basically it wasn't acceptable and I should be skinnier and I should do this and I should do that and I shouldn't have that, like constantly. So were my friends and different people that I knew in school.
By people who were naturally skinny.
But we didn't know that. And still, because it's so ingrained in people that it's just being passed down and passed down and passed down. So, and I don't think you realize that.
But you're putting it on men. You're saying, okay, so if you're saying that your mother got on you about being too fat, or your family members got on you about being too fat, that's different than saying men are attracted to women that look this way. This is how you're supposed to look. Because the two things are, if your mother was naturally skinny and your aunts were naturally skinny, they looked at you because you were thicker and they don't know any better. They're going, you're big because you're eating too much. But that's different from a guy going, I'm attracted to only skinny women. You should get skinny because
I guess guys are more verbal about it on the internet and things like that about those skinny or whatever women. It's a lot more verbalized publicly or online, or that women see more of. So we see more of that than we do of heavier woman being praised and, oh, she's sexy, or oh, she's this. You can sit here all day long and say men don't feel that way, and most men.
I'm a man, though.
Hold on, most men. You're taking the majority, and you're saying the majority are thinking like you. Well, if you look at the polls online, and you look at when you scroll through online and stuff, the 90 percentile is those type of women, and that's what men are all online underneath their post and this and that, and then you have this heavier set girl who a lot of men are saying she's sexy, she's pretty, she's this, she's that. And then you have the mean guys saying that she's ugly and she's blah, 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 blah. It's like, come on.
I don't hear that.
It's really like a 80-20, and that's just that's our women reality.
As
and I hate
to tell
you that.
As a person who was
you can't speak for everybody.
You can't speak for a man.
I'm not speaking for a man.
You are. You're saying it's 80-20. You're paying attention only to the men that are responding to the skinny woman.
I gave you facts. I gave you facts from online that it is 80%. Yes, it is. The fact is, if you go online right now, if you go on Instagram right now, 80% of those women are going to be these skinny Instagram model, whatever you want to call them. They're not going to be the plus size people. It's not going to be
How
there.
many of these plus size people's pages are you going to see the comments?
I don't go to either.
That's my point. So you came up with a very specific 80% saying that's
go to the pages. There's what I'm saying is 80% out there is being supported by all these men, whereas you only get 20% of the heavier women.
How about there's not that many heavier set women that are out there that put themselves in a position of social media influences where they have pages to be seen?
Because we've been humiliated enough.
Oh man, I'm sorry, that I can't side with. I feel you feel like every big person,
because you're
coming up with arbitrary numbers and going, that's fact.
I lived the life. What are you talking about?
That is your truth. That's not 80% to 20% truth, though.
You ask.
And then you're making it seem like the issue is because of men. It's only because
you're just stuck on men and women. Any plus size woman has experienced the discrimination with size. Any single plus size woman has experienced that.
I don't doubt that. Okay.
And in those experiences, it automatically makes you feel as if that's what men think, because we're dealing with that discrimination.
Okay.
So you look at it as, let's talk about black and white. You are weary of maybe all white people to a certain extent at first, until they show you that they're not racist. Or some people, I'll let you in, but the second you say something wrong, I'm gonna think that you're a racist or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad example.
For me, it's a bad example because that's not the truth.
But it's when you've experienced it, like going in a store and getting followed in a store. Okay. So you feel like that's going to happen if you go into certain stores.
Okay.
Once you've experienced something, you think that's what's going to happen every time.
That makes more sense. Okay. That absolutely makes sense. And I will agree with you and nod my head. Yes, that makes sense.
And then when you go online,
is not the same.
It's not. But then when you go on, hold on, time out.
When we're saying big people, we're not talking about obese people. We're talking about women who are a little bit more curvy than
I'm talking about size 14 and up, just plus size.
Okay.
And because that about 14, size 14, 16, that's when you start getting the discrimination. And I can vouch for that because I've been a size 22 and I've gone down to a size 12. I've went back up to a 2022 and I've been down to a 10, an 8'10". And you get treated differently.
Okay.
Absolutely differently, from being embarrassed in public by other people to jobs, to friendships, to going to the doctor. Your experiences are so different. So when you're getting all that at you, even if you're super, super confident, it still happens. Or you get that guy that you think's cute and he lets you know. A guy's really good about letting you know you too big, or you're this or you're that. You don't say that. You're not saying that to anybody else. You might say they're not attractive or whatever. I'm not attracted to you.
Okay.
But we get a lot of you fat B or you this and that. It's awful. It is really awful.
Yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm.
Or they just want you for one thing and then they throw you to the side. So heavier women get that a lot more often. Or it's just, or you get the woman that marries a guy and she's small and then she starts gaining weight after a certain period and he starts acting funny and says he's quote unquote not attracted to her. He loves her and he loves her who she is, but he's not attracted to her body.
And men like that are not championed. Those people are not those are not our leader. Those are not the people we go, yeah, that thought process
doesn't mean it's that we don't.
What I'm saying is, I'm saying that we don't. Most men, normal men, don't like those kind of people. We think that they're jerks, and I'm going to be very calm and not say the right. We think that they are absolute jerks. The majority of men look at that and go, "Are you stupid?" Because fat men, and no one's championing fat men. So although the shoe may not be the same on both feet, it does somewhat. If I was fat, there are fat, not out of shape people that work in regular society. Mailmen, fast food industry, they work at Walmart. Those are the people that you walk by and go, "Ooh, he's probably got a really cute personality. He could probably make me laugh. He probably makes really good money. Or he's very sexy." They're overlooked as well. Or their haircut isn't looking good and they're fat. No, thank you. Heavier set men don't always get looked at as far as.
You have to understand that I've dated when I was a size 12 and I've dated when I was a size 22. And those experiences were so different. Hurtful different. And that, to the point, let's say you're on a dating site, you're a size 22. Mm-hmm. You get more mean messages than you did good messages for a while. And it's like, well, time out. Wait a minute. That ain't cool.
Agree.
That just isn't cool. And I know it's somebody else's insecure, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Of course. But guess what? Guess what the silver lining to what you just said was? Me.
That I found you?
Yes. Because I am the antithesis to that rule. I'm different. I don't care about your size. I don't care if you're heavy set. I've been with you when you were in the middle, and then when you fluctuated to a 20 whatever, and then you dropped the weight and you were down to a size whatever it is you're now. And I did not physically treat you any more different or look at you and go,
he hasn't treated me different from day one to now.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, there are those people who are treating you bad, who are sending messages like that, they are the scum of the earth. They do not speak for the masses.
Now, I'll be honest. I also built a lot of confidence during that time because I started realizing how many men liked it. And but it made me veer more to black men than white men. I didn't date any white guys because they didn't like that.
So you only dated black guys because they accepted you for your size?
Basically. I'm serious. Basically.
So she don't really like me, folks. She just likes me because I like her.
You kind of heavier, but you have to understand, heavier women if we get more complimented by one race, or we know that race is very nice to us, we're going to be more attracted to that. Whereas you have these white kids or these white boys growing up calling you fat and blah, 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 and they don't see your beauty.
So again, that doesn't make you sound any better. It makes you sound like, I'm not attracted to you, but because you like me, I'm going to stick to your side. I still find white men more attractive.
No, time out. I know that.
1,000% what it sounds like. I'm only going to you because you accept
No, your attraction to someone, your attraction to a certain race is because of how you're being treated when you're younger. A lot of times that's how I view it. Your attraction to someone is what you're getting the most of. And I've gotten more reaction and acceptance from black men than I have white men.
Did you find black men attractive before they started accepting? Before you realized, this race of people enjoys me? But I do find him attractive. Like you mentioned your childhood crushes. Were your childhood crushes black?
They were all over the place when I was a kid.
Who was your childhood crush celebrity crush when you were a kid? Black.
Corey Haim.
I said black.
Black was Will Smith.
I doubt that.
Will Smith is still it. What are you talking about?
How old were you when Will Smith became any sort of popularity? You were in your late teens. You were in your late teens at that.
Okay.
I said as a kid.
Oh, even younger than that. What was his name?
You're going to say Michael Jackson. We don't even know what he was.
No, it wasn't him.
And see, you're struggling. But
yeah,
if I said white, you can say Corey Feldman, all the new kids on the block.
I liked everything was my teens because it was like you have like Tupac, you have you have all the different people like Boys to Men and BVD and all those people were when we were older. When we were younger, there wasn't a lot of like boy band or I was into. Well, Tevin Campbell was. He was when I was older, I guess. So that's not really young. When I was young, there wasn't a lot of black actors that stood out in any of these shows, except for the Cosby Show, which was Theo, which I thought Theo was. I would just be like, huh?
You didn't find him cute?
No.
That's funny because a lot of black girls found Theo.
I didn't find him cute because I did in one section of his life. Well, two sections. But when he did like the curl and wanted the earring and he was friends with Cockroach or whatever, it was weird. I don't know if I felt like he was immature or whatever.
He was older than you.
I don't know. There was something about him I didn't like, but then when he got older, I started liking him. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's my reasoning. But I've dated Spanish. I've dated white. I mean, I dated a white guy in my older years, in my 30s.
You told me the story.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, one.
And again, they are not the one in my inbox as well. You have to understand that. Even if I'm online, I'm available to anybody. They weren't the one in my inbox.
Just all the ugly black dudes, right?
Ugh, some of them.
Because she dated a lot.
No, I had some fine ones too. Don't play.
She did, but she dated a lot of ugly.
No, I did. Well, I did date a couple of ugly dudes.
Yeah, you married a couple too.
But I dated some fine guys. You know that.
I mean, I know that.
You know who I've dated. You know a couple of them.
And I don't know none of them to be fine.
You said it to me that they were good looking.
The mixed guy?
Not just him.
That's the only one that I mentioned.
Okay.
Oh, so that means you lying to me. There's somebody in that list that you was like, he was fine. Was he fine?
There was a lot in that.
Okay.
There was a lot in that list that were cute.
I don't know a lot of your list.
Why would I do that? First of all, I don't have any pictures or anything. I can't like show you who they are.
But I bet you know their names.
No, I don't.
They better not be friends on your Facebook page either. I don't need no exes tapping back in.
Why would I? Listen. They don't. You have nothing to worry about.
I know.
And I tell you everything.
I'm okay to do prison time.
I tell you everything. The ones that have in the past, I tell you right away.
Tell me what?
If somebody's tried to contact me or anything like that. Really? I do tell you, stop it.
Anyway, all right.
That's how you know you have something great. Because I've never dated somebody or been with somebody that did not try to get back with me. So you can't blame it on me when you're chasing me after.
Yeah, true.
I wasn't the problem. If you're coming for me right after, you just were trying to cheat or have your moment and
have your pumpkin pie and eat it too.
Yep, and I'm not going for that. So
nope, can't have both.
Yep.
All right, folks, we have given you almost an hour and a half of quality music and laughs and taste testing, and I did lose a fruit by the foot contest. So we had fun.
Have you ever won a contest against me?
I'll get back to you on that.
I don't think I have ever won anything that we've played one-on-one.
That's because you refuse to play anything one-on-one except Connect 4.
What else you want to play?
Basketball. I'll play you for your heart. And I'm dunking all
I said competitions, not like sports. I guess
that's a competition. Goof mother.
I haven't done that in a while. We're not doing sports. We got to do like a game. I guess that is a game. I don't know. You decide.
I beat you in the gingerbread.
I beat you in slapjack too.
I beat you in the painting contest. I beat you.
You
in,
did not.
The gingerbread house making
First
contest.
of all, I said just me and you. Second of all, you didn't beat me in those.
My stuff was better, hands down better.
Your opinion only.
My gingerbread house was way better than
the kids didn't pick you. That's why you lost.
Mine was better than everybody.
You lost. The kids didn't pick you.
Look at me.
And you didn't even do the Batman one or any of the others. I did those.
I did. I was your partner with the Batman one. What you talking about?
I did all of that.
That's because you take control of everything and you don't want anybody else's help. I painted a door. That's all she would have gave me control of is a door.
Because you were picking dumb colors.
My point exactly. No way or no way. That's why we will never be teammates again. She's doing her own thing.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait till the holidays to do this stuff again.
It up. This year, I'm winning. Whatever we do, gingerbread house.
I want to do that at work. I want to get the different gingerbread houses and stuff, and do a grade level competition.
A grade level competition.
So each department, like 6th grade specials, whatever, each one gets their own.
As a team or individually?
No, as a team.
Oh.
So each team.
How y'all gonna find time to do that?
You can do that creatively, like instead of the meeting, do half a meeting, half a team building activity.
Oh, that would be fun.
So
that would be fun. That's bragging rights for the next year.
Right. So
build unity. That's good.
Do a unity activity during every meeting, as long as the meeting doesn't have to be really long.
That's dope. That's a good idea.
And do gingerbread houses, and the winner. I just have to get the school to cough up a little bit of dough.
Oh, you got. Hey, listen. Talk to the assistant principal of instruction. If you talk to that person, I'm sure that they'll be okay with it. All that's gonna work. But it's got to be specifically
so funny.
The assistant principal of instruction. You got to talk to that person specifically. Guarantee you.
They must be a good friend of yours.
I know them very well. I'm telling you, I can put in a good word for you.
Okay.
I put in a good word for you. I'll like, listen, I got somebody's going to come and talk to you about doing some holiday stuff that's really going to bring the team together. Just give them a thumbs up. Trust me, I vouch for that person.
But if the school would cough up a little bit of money, just having like 2 $10 gift cards to Amazon.
To the winners?
Yeah. Or like if there's 4, like four that's $40.
Yeah.
And you're only doing that, once a month out of the 4 meetings. Out
of 12 months, yeah.
Out of the 4 meetings, you do like a team building competition.
You've heard it here, folks, and that's going to be the news.
I need to make sure you send me this last little piece because I'll forget what I just said. Because I've been putting down these little ideas too, because I really, really like the staff and I really, really like where I'm at. And just coming up with fun ways to laugh, but not take time from teachers where they're moaning and groaning. Oh my gosh, I gotta stay. Blah, 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 where they want to.
Right.
Even when they're tired, they don't want to, but I'm gonna get me. Come on, team. It's a competition. I'm gonna get us this, and then maybe they get to have the banner outside their classroom.
Something like that, yeah. Championship belt.
Yep, you get the championship belt for your door.
Keep it
write this stuff down. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
A championship flag for your door the month that your team wins.
It's gonna create anticipation for the next year. Oh, I'm winning it that next year. I'm winning.
Right. Our team's gonna have this flag over. Yeah. So that would be awesome to put it over their door, or some like a little one like these things that are on the side, just to hang on their door. The 4 teachers that win whatever little team building activity that it is. And I guarantee teachers will want to do that because they are going to want bragging rights for the next month.
Of course.
And it's going to be y'all ain't keeping those.
It'll boost morale. It definitely boosts morale. So
and
all that
constantly talk about it and kind of make you got to make it worthy or
a little trash
exciting. Trash talking.
Trash talking. Going back and forth. I think
maybe that person, maybe that team, whoever gets it that month, gets an extra day of something that nobody else gets.
Yeah.
And you gotta have, you're getting that $10, but you gotta have. I get that extra copy time too. I get to leave 5 minutes earlier than you.
Whatever it is.
They get like a little pass where they get to leave 30 minutes early, or they are duty free or something for something, or they get
second block.
Well, an extra 15. I'll cover your class for 15 minutes or whatever. It's something.
I'm telling you, bring it to the assistant principal of instruction. I'm sure that person will make sure that goes down. Bring all your ideas to them. I'm sure they'll get it going. Write it down, bring it to them, present it. Anyway, not gonna hold y'all too long. It's a Sunday on this side. It's NFL Sunday, first Sunday in the NFL season.
It should be about that time for kickoff.
Actually, the games have already started. It started about 45 minutes ago.
That's okay. The fourth quarter is the best quarter.
If you say so. Moving right along. Anyway, we love you guys. If you have a chance again,
episode up.
thank you for sticking with us here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with the Custer Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to go to our social medias: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We are there. Please feel free to reach out. Send us
hit up our TikTok a little bit more.
Yes, TikTok. Definitely go there. Hit us up on Instagram as well, and then definitely watch this video on YouTube. So that way you can see our pretty faces and then our beautiful, colorful signs that we've spent a lot of money on. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all later. Peace.